What if your wife was a spy? Would you stay with her? Would you leave her? Would you try to figure out who she works for, or would you do the smart thing and forget you found out that she's a spy? You can always claim ignorance, like, honestly, who cares? Here's the problem with that last part. What if you're also a spy and that's how you found out that your wife's a spy, and guess what? She's spying for the enemy, of course. So now you gotta make the most devious decision known to mankind. Betray your wife for your country, or betray your country for your so-called wife. Oh yeah, by the way, your bosses know that your wife is a spy and they're the ones who actually told you, so you can't hide the fact that you know her secrets. Anyways, you don't have to imagine any of this messed up scenario because there's a movie about it and I'll tell you how it played out. So in the 2016 movie Allied, we joined Brad Pitt and that hot French lady from Inception as they go through the craziest love story I've seen on camera. Okay, so check this, right? The movie is set in WW doors around like what, 1941-ish? So you already know what's going on. It's just Germany running around everywhere being problematic. Here's the thing though, the movie starts out in Africa and I didn't know that the Germans were up and down Africa like that in WW doors. I just thought that they were in Equatorial Guinea like they were in the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. By the way, you should watch my video about that movie. Anyways, in the beginning of the movie, the Brad lands in Africa. Then he gets picked up by some shady goon. The goon explains to the Brad that when you get to your hotel, you're gonna find a lady. Then he describes the lady, and then exactly that happens. When the Brad finds Marion, the whole plotline in the movie is that they're supposed to pretend to be a husband and a wife and blend into the surroundings. Like their mission was pretty simple. Pose as a married couple, get to know some people, and when you find the German ambassador, murder that goofball. Cool. So as they were in Morocco, we followed the Brad and Marion as they posed as a married couple, and this is where the movie takes a turn. See, the thing about the Brad's character is that in the movie, he had major trust issues. You could kind of tell that he's standoffish. But Marion, even though her job was to make sure that the world believes she's Brad's wife, yeah, Marion put the work on Brad. I'm talking about her putting on a clinic. No, a master class in seducing a person. She cooked Brad and he had no chance. So after they found the German ambassador and they murked him, Brad was like, please come with me. I love you, babes. Let's go back to England. And she was down, which is like a big red flag, but whatever. Anyways, they get back to England and they get married. Then they start a family, and one day Brad gets called into work. Brad's bosses are like, yo, every piece of information we give you finds its way to the Germans. We know for a fact that it isn't you leaking the news, it's your wife. Then Brad, like a good husband, refuses to accept the truth about his babes, and Brad's bosses tell him, look, chief, we're gonna call you at night and give you some info. We're also gonna monitor your house to see if your wife tries to get the info to the Germans. After we call you, make sure you write down exactly what we tell you. If what you wrote makes it to the Germans, then you already know what's up with your wife. We're basically just giving her an opportunity to snitch on herself at this point. Then the Brad's bosses told Brad to go home and act normal, but the Brad just got the worst news of his life. So instantly the Brad goes on back to back missions in the span of like what, 3 days just to prove that his wife was innocent, and guess what? She wasn't, obviously. Like, she was leaking everything. Nothing was safe. That time, Brad fought his bosses about her. He flew to France to go find some crucial and life-saving evidence to prove she's legit. The Brad killed every German sleeper cell that lived on their street at some point too, just for her. Like, if it could have been done, then the Brad did it with the hopes of trying to prove that his wife was innocent, but nah, she was the op. But he loved Marion. So they tried to make a run for it, and as you can see from this scene right here, it didn't go well. But yeah, the Brad chose love, and according to his country, it was the wrong choice. But my question for you is, What would you do if your unbelievably hot French wife was pushing weight for Adolf? Can your wife slang rocks for the Nazis? And now a quick word from our sponsors. I don't have sponsors. Please like the video.